Another major NASCAR silly season domino has fallen as it has been announced that Anthony Alfredo will join Young's Motorsports in the NASCAR Xfinity Series in 2025. What's going on, guys? It's Daniel and welcome back to our video. As I just said a second ago, we have some pretty massive and major breaking news as Anthony Alfredo has finalized his plans for 2025. Along with driving the 62 for Beer Motorsports in this year's Daytona 500, Anthony Alfredo will join Young's Motorsports full-time in the NASCAR Xfinity Series in 2025. Driving the number 42 car. Do Wipes and Ranco will also sponsor him throughout the 2025 season, and Andrew Abbott is going to be the crew chief for Anthony Alfredo in 2025. Here's a statement from Young's Motorsports today. Young's Motorsports announced today that Anthony Alfredo has joined the organization for the 2025 NASCAR Xfinity Series season. This will mark the fourth full-time season for Anthony Alfredo full-time in Xfinity Series competition. The 25-year-old, of course, had a very solid year with the team. Here's what Anthony Alfredo said. I am very excited to join Young's Motorsports team this season, Alfredo said. I certainly respect what Tyler and his team are building. It's clear they are determined to become a serious contender in the NASCAR Xfinity Series, and I look forward to being a part of that. I'm grateful for the opportunity, and I'm ready to make the most of it. Here's what Tyler Young said about Anthony Alfredo joining the team. This is huge for us. Anthony is a wheelman. The Xfinity Series competition is stout. He absolutely has what it takes to win in this field. I am pumped we get to keep growing our Xfinity program with him this season. Continuing on, longtime organizational crew chief Andrew Abbott, who's been with the team for the last couple of years, will be the crew chief for this program in 2025. I don't think it was confirmed in the press release today as well, but if I'm not mistaken, they are expected to get a much tighter alliance with RCR and ECR engines. I had heard this rumor about 3 or 4 weeks ago that he was likely going to be headed over to this team in 2025. When it was confirmed that Anthony was not going to be back with I had heard there was a really good chance and opportunity that he was going to be joining this team full-time in 2025 with a much tighter ECR alliance. Anthony Alfredo has always been a driver that can get the best out of equipment. Last year in 2024, he had a pretty solid year. He finished 15th in the points, won a Dash for Cash race, actually won a Dash for Cash and $100,000 with that team, and had some really standout performances like Martinsville early in the season, qualified up front quite a bit, and generally showed some really solid pace and really good speed. Now, what are the expectations of Anthony Alfredo in 2025? If this team is truly getting a top ECR alliance like I think they're going to be getting, I could see Anthony Alfredo contending for some top 10s throughout the year. I don't expect Anthony Alfredo to make the playoffs in 2025 unless, of course, he can go out there and win a super speedway race, but I think he'll get some top 10s this year, maybe a couple occasional top 5s throughout 2025, and I think the goal for Anthony Alfredo should be to finish in a top 20 in the standings. The Xfinity Series field is completely stacked, especially in that mid-pack this year. You've obviously got the Junior Motorsports Brigade of Connor Zilisch, Carson Quaffle, Justin Allgaier, and Sammy Smith. You've got the Haas Factory Team drivers of Sheldon Creed and Sam Mayer. You've got the Joe Gibbs Racing drivers of William Sawalich and Taylor Gray and Brandon Jones. You've got, of course, Ryan Sieg's team, who's going to have Ryan Sieg and a couple other drivers that are still to be announced at this point. You've got other teams like Colleague with Christian Eckes, Josh Williams, and Daniel Dye. And you've got a lot of other big teams that are making big plans for 2025. And I think Anthony Alfredo is a driver that's extremely capable of getting it done. And also, he's going to have the opportunity to run the 2025 Daytona 500 with Beer Motorsports, which I think he's got a really good chance and opportunity to make the Daytona 500 this year. And then I forgot about Harrison Burr replacing Haley Deegan over at AM Racing. And then there's some other drivers that are making other moves that still need to be announced at this point. But I got to say, the NASCAR Xfinity Series competition is extremely stacked for 2025. And I really think that Anthony Alfredo has a really strong chance and a really good opportunity. When it was announced he wouldn't be back with our Motorsports in 2025, I was very disappointed because I was really worried that Anthony was not going to have a ride for 2025. But then when it was confirmed that Leland Hyman was going to that new Cope Racing family team, which of course Leland will be sharing that seat with Thomas Denunzietta throughout 2025, when this ride became available for Anthony, that was a really good opportunity for him. And I really think that Anthony is going to show a lot of good pace and really strong speed with this program, because you got to think about this. One, there's a good combination here. Number one, Anthony Anthony Alfredo is a very talented race car driver. But number two, he's got good partners and sponsors that are working with him very closely in 2025. And I think that Anthony is going to have a very strong and great season with this program and team. I'm excited for Xfinity competition. There's definitely some unknowns going into this year on how the field is going to be. And I think some drivers are going to dominate like Connor Zilisch and Carson Quaffle. But I think that battle for the playoff spot this year among the many great competitors like Parker Retzlaff's at Alpha Prime Racing this year. You've, of course, got Jeb Burton, who could win a super speedway race as well. I think this Xfinity field is in a really strong state going into 2025. I think it's going to be a very fun and good season to watch this year. I'm really excited for the Xfinity Series. I think it's going to be a great season. And I think that Anthony Alfredo is going to put on a really, really good show. Now, could long-term Anthony Alfredo move up to the NASCAR Cup Series again like he ran in 2021 when he joined up with Front Row? I think it's certainly possible, and I'd love to see him get the chance and opportunity long-term to go up to the Cup Series down the road again and run full-time. So I think Anthony Alfredo is a much better driver now in 2025 than he was in 2021 because he was a little bit inexperienced and didn't have a lot of starts. Now he's running multiple full-time seasons, and I generally think he's done a really solid and really, really good job. So I'm very excited about this season. You've got other Cup guys coming down too, like Shane Van Gisbergen and Ross Chastain, and probably the guys like Kyle Larson, Kyle Busch too, and probably Bubba Wallace at some point could come down. Same with Eric Almirola too. But I got to say the Xfinity Series field is very strong this year. And again, it's just pretty exciting to see that Anthony Alfredo is going to be back in the NASCAR Xfinity Series full-time in 2025. He's earned the right to get this opportunity once again. And I cannot wait to see what Anthony Alfredo is going to do with this program. I expect him to show some really strong speed this year, be a very serious threat and a major contender. And I think the pace and speed will be there for Anthony, for him to have the chance and opportunity to be competitive. Can't wait to see what he'll do this year in 2025, as I truly think that Anthony Alfredo is going to have the pace and speed to major league contender in 2025. We'll see what he can do with the Young's Motorsports team this upcoming year and upcoming season with the team. So, that is going to be today's special breaking news episode on Anthony Alfredo joining Young's Motorsports in 2025. I want to thank you guys for watching. Please subscribe to the channel, notifications on, so if I win a video, it does go live on my channel. Follow me on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram, and support me on Patreon as well. Let's go below that and comment your thoughts below on today's episode. What are your expectations for Anthony Alfredo heading into the 2025 season? Do you think Anthony Alfredo is going to do worse than he did at Our Motorsports? Or do you think he's going to run a lot better in 2025 with the Young's Motorsports organization? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. If there's any other major news that does break on the channel, we'll discuss here live. If not, the next time you're probably going to see me is tomorrow, where we'll do a NASCAR news video covering everything probably from Tuesday. And if there's any other major news that does break throughout the week, which I do expect some big news to be coming in the coming days as well, we'll cover it here. We've got content also on people like Haley Deegan, Shane Van Gisbergen, Carl Edwards, Kurt Busch, Kyle Busch, Bubba Wallace, Chase Elliott, Kyle Larson, Alex Bowman, you name it. We've got all that great content dropping. We're going to be taking an early dive look at the Xfinity Series lineup in the coming weeks as more is starting to get revealed. And we should have lineups on other videos and pretty cool stuff like an updated look at the Cup lineup coming out within the next few weeks. Probably this weekend we'll do an updated look at the Cup lineup, or within the next couple weeks or so. And there should be also a Daytona 500 entry list video dropping in the next couple weeks as we're getting close to the Daytona 500. Expect that to be coming very soon as well. So anyways, like I said, I want to thank you guys for watching today's episode, and I'll see you guys next time for more great, awesome NASCAR content and other motorsports content on the channel like this. Take care, everybody.